Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to briefly talk about this new bass that I have. This is a Music Man by Sterling. This is their RAY35 model in a purple sparkle, and this is one beautiful instrument. This is the newest purchase. I even still have the tags and the plastic pieces on it. Those are coming off, don't worry. It has got a Nyato body, which is like it's like an alternative to mahogany. It's very light actually, and very well balanced too. It's got a roasted hard maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard, and it does not have any neck dive. I want to talk about specifically the purchase of this bass and my experience with it, because this is actually a B stock bass that I bought off of eBay. This bass was a little bit cheaper than new because it was B stock. It's basically an open box. Somebody bought it and then didn't like it or didn't want it anymore, and they returned it back to the seller on eBay, which thank you so much to Pro Audio Star for working with me on this issue. And also thank you to Josh over at Sterling. More on that in a moment. Everything about this bass is perfect. There's no issues with the frets. There's no issues. There's no dings, dangs, or scratches or anything like that. Even though I did have a little bit of shipping damage, it didn't hurt the bass at all. So I was very fortunate and happy that that was the case. However, I did run into an issue with the preamp. The preamp, it's got it's a 3-band preamp, 9 volts, so a bass, mid, treble, and volume, and a 3-position selector switch. And I was having some noisy, scratchy pots. Normally you would just go and put some Deoxit 5, spray that into the pot, work it back and forth a few times, and that should clear it up. Well, unfortunately that didn't do it. I wound up having to, I tried cleaning it out and it still was very noisy. Mechanically, the wiper in there I think got compromised when they soldered it, so it needed to be replaced. After everything that I buying the bass, I'm like, well, there's nothing cosmetically wrong with this. It's just a pot. I can fix that myself, right? Well, I had a very hard time looking for the exact potentiometer that would fit this bass and the preamp that's already in there. The preamp, you can see a picture of it here. The preamp is right underneath the pick guard, but these pots are also mounted through it. And that's where the rub comes in. These pots, you are going to have a hard time finding it because they have a much longer threaded shaft portion, 3/4 of an inch to be exact, versus the standard 3/8 of an inch that you normally find on most potentiometers on most guitars. Some of the CTS pots, for example, have 3/4 of an inch because they have to thread through not only the PCB but also through the body, or if the body is curved, so that's why they have the longer threaded portion. You can't find it in a mini pot, which is a 16 millimeter wide instead of the standard 24, and a solid shaft, and then you have the 3/4 inch threaded portion. You just can't find it. It's actually a custom-made pot from Alpha, which is a Taiwanese manufacturer of potentiometers and different passive components. Likely what happened was Sterling by Music Man had that custom made for their needs for this particular preamp and some of their other models, and I could not buy that potentiometer. I would have to buy the entire preamp, replace the whole preamp instead, and that would cost me over $100 plus shipping. Now, a B stock doesn't have a warranty, as I mentioned, but it's specifically for the cosmetics. But the playability, because this is all scratchy and whatnot, I did go back to Sterling. I registered the bass and I gave him the issue what I was having, with videos and pictures, of course, like I usually do on my YouTube. And I sent them the information, and thankfully Sterling came back and they were solid about it, and they said, we're going to send you a whole new preamp assembly free of charge under warranty. Couldn't be more happy, right? I didn't go back to Pro Audio Star and say, look, I had to go back and forth email. Obviously, this was not something I was expecting, even with the B stock. I wasn't even too concerned about a ding or a scratch there because I knew ahead of time that a B stock wasn't going to have a warranty. But I was corrected by Sterling saying that a warranty on playability still applies, but not on the cosmetics. So keep that in mind. Finally, I should get that new preamp here in a few days. I'll probably do a separate video on replacing that. But I did go back to Pro Audio Star and say, look, after all this trouble, they gave me a $30 credit, and that was amicable to me. So overall, the purchase experience, while I did have to go through a little bit of work to not only figure out the problem, but also come up with a solution that everyone was going to be happy with, because I could have returned this base free and clear, no charge to me, and not dealt with the problem at all. But I think that it was more than fair, considering that if I did return it, then Pro Audio would have had to spend money on shipping back to them, the time to go and inspect it, yada, yada, yada. But I'm glad that it worked out this way, because I got a really nice looking bass, and it sounds really cool too. Very throaty. I'm going to end the video here. I just wanted to share my experience with Sterling and also Pro Audio Star. I really appreciate both of you guys for helping me out on this, and let this be informational for anyone that's interested. If you ever have a warranty issue or want to work with any of these vendors, they were really fair and honest and cool with me, so just passing the experience and the knowledge along. I'll probably do another video on this about the preamp swap out, but until then, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next video.